lot to be excited about. So first things first, we're starting outside one of our homes. What's the main features of summer?
So that's a good question. Let me just go back to something you just said there, which because I think it's a very important caveat. Yeah, we're still in development. We are still working really hard, and I think we're about 3 months out from launch. So this is a developer build. It is still a work in progress. You might see some bugs in there, but I know you'll forgive us for that because I think it's really important that we start showing our fans more of this game after having talked about it last month, and that's what we're doing. But to your question, what are the features of summer? I think what we're seeing right here is kind of actually exactly the kind of summer we're seeing outside at the moment. Really hot. Yeah. And we said at E3 that we wanted summer in Forza Horizon 4 to be like the perfect British summer, and I think some people may be like sniggered a little bit because British summer doesn't have the greatest reputation. Certainly we're in the middle of a heat wave here. It's been 30 degrees. We haven't seen rain in weeks.
Everyone would be like, oh, if this was an English summer a few years ago, I'd be like, this isn't summer. There's no rain, there's no wind. It's just like a couple of days of sun and normally everyone's really happy.
Yeah.
But one thing as well is like, for everyone watching at home, if you've got any questions about Horizon 4, do drop them into the chat. Both Ralph and Ben will be answering them. So anything you've got, put your questions in the chat right now. But Ben, I know you love the trees.
Oh, I do.
Right, just like, we've talked about it all day, right? Can you tell us a little bit about the trees in Horizon 4?
Sure. So it's fair to say every location that we go to with the Horizon game poses certain challenges when it comes to visuals, and Britain is known for being incredibly green in summer. It's one of the things when you have people who visit you from other countries. I don't know whether you've had the same thing, but people always go like, I can't believe how lush and green this country is, and so that was obviously a big focus for us this time. So we spent a lot of time completely overhauling all of the rendering work that we put into our foliage. So all of our foliage shaders now do some really cool things, like they model the transmission of light through leaves, they model the specular across individual leaves, and it's all built up to give us the sort of rich variety of different types of foliage that you have in Britain that you didn't necessarily have in locations like Australia, for example.
Yeah, it does look absolutely gorgeous, because you've got like individual leaf, like you've rendered individual leaves now, which will kind of like change the shadows.
Yes, per pixel lighting is the fancy term that we throw at that. That's what that is.
Per pixel lighting. Yeah. Because it's summer as well. Like the arc of the sun is different to other seasons, isn't it? So you're going to get different shadows and different colourings on these trees.
Yeah, sure. So here's a cool bit of backstory actually. So right back when we were first investigating the tech that is now inside this game in terms of how the lighting is being reproduced, we did some sky captures, some sky data captures, and we threw it actually on the Horizon 2 environment that we had back then on the Amalfi Coast. And that capture was taken from the UK in the middle of winter. And so it had this real stark kind of beauty to it. But it was also quite a bleak look, and we threw that on top of Amalfi, and instantly it kind of had this weird thing where it's like, I've never seen the Italian coast looking wintry like that. Yeah. So we knew that having the correct seasons captured and replicated in game was going to be a huge part of making sure that authenticity came through with regards to the lighting model. So this is true for this. So this is a capture that was actually taken last summer. So I don't know whether you remember, but actually we talk about this summer being amazing, but last summer was also pretty incredible.
Yeah, so it's a good replication. We've also just got some questions into the stream. So do Rangers ask, where are all the potholes in the roads?
Oh, they are. In fact, we just went...
Literally just passed one.
Good timing. That's what you want.
So actually, on the subject of potholes, we have a process that we use in the studio called photogrammetry.
Yeah.
Basically, where you take a ton of photographs of something, and it will then reconstruct the thing you took the photographs of in 3D. And we actually did that with the potholes in this game. So we actually took people out and they did scans of real-life potholes, and they are...
So these are real potholes along the road.
Real British potholes.
You know, you've got to carry that history across. This is the British pothole. We've also got a question, because this summer is obviously, it's hot, it's beautiful, but one of the questions is, will it still rain in summer?
Yes, it will still rain in summer as it does here, and I'm sure it will. Still this summer, it's going to rain, right?
I hope so.
Eventually it has to.
The reservoirs are running out.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, I guess a big thing about the seasons is how weather conditions change amongst them. What we've gone for, as I've said before, is kind of like the perfect British summer. Recreated in the summer of Forza Horizon 4, which means it's hot, which means the sun is high, but it's still going to rain, and it will still rain during summer. Probably just less so than it does in spring and autumn, which are much more our rainy seasons, I guess.
Like, one of the things, like, talking from weather, is the thing that makes me excited about seasons is it's going to help complement different racing styles. So, like, in winter, I can kind of see drifting being really effective because you're going on ice, while in summer you could be like straight road racing, you're going to be able to get those speeds. Is that something that you expect players to experience?